Okay, hey everyone. Today I'm going to talk about dynamic ads and how you can get more out of it. So my name is Jinhao Yan, for those of you who haven't met me, and I lead a dynamic ads team. I've been working on dynamic ads since the beginning, and I watched it evolve from its inception as a remarketing product for commerce into a powerful tool to automate and personalize your ads across many types of businesses. So Jason mentioned travel as one example, and different business outcomes. And today I'm really excited to share some new updates and some new perspectives on how you can use dynamic ads to do more. I'll begin by reviewing what dynamic ads are for those of you who don't know yet. Then I'll share some updates for new types of businesses that can use dynamic ads. Afterwards, I'll highlight some more ways to use dynamic ads to drive the outcomes that you want, not just clicks or conversions or whatever they might be. Then I'll discuss some creative options that will let you customize your ads to make them more compelling and engaging. And finally, I'll close with a deep dive into dynamic ads for broad audiences, which we launched formally this summer. So what are dynamic ads? At the high level, it's an automation and personalization solution that leverages Facebook's strengths in signals, which Jason alluded to, and machine learning to make it easier to build and manage high-performance campaigns. So the idea is basically you tell us what you sell, and you give us signals, and then we figure out the rest. You tell us information like your catalog, the signals from their pixel and app events, and through the power of machine learning and the data that Facebook has about people, we can generate these personalized recommendations for people. What it can do is that it helps you eliminate guesswork. For example, many of you guys probably have wondered, who should you target? Should you use a 10% lookalike, 5% lookalike? How do you really know? What do you show them? Maybe you just show your popular dresses, even to men, maybe not. Do you want to create thousands of campaigns? How granular should you make your campaigns? One per each of your best sellers, or that's a lot of work? And after you split up those campaigns, how much budget do you spend on each one of them? There's a lot of questions that you have to deal with if you're not using dynamic ads. So with dynamic ads, it simplifies the process by basically choosing among this broad space of options of targeting and creative across many different campaigns. So all you need to do is create one ad, and dynamic ads will choose the creative, targeting, and so on to maximize your outcomes. And basically, it does that by intelligently using data and machine learning. So to take full advantage of dynamic ads, it's really important to understand what it can do for you. Many people mistake it to be just a pure remarketing product. Makes sense because that's what we launched with. But in fact, it's a flexible tool to dial up the relevancy and scale of your direct response campaigns, not just your commerce retargeting product. And we've been unlocking different functionality for more and more use cases, more business types, travel is one example, more optimization options, and more creative options so you can make your ads more compelling. And so take a moment today to reflect on the different ways of using dynamic ads to significantly improve your performance and your workflow. Also, if you have questions or if you have an unsupported use case, come talk to us afterwards because we want to help. So great, we know what dynamic ads are. Let's talk about who it's designed for. Let's look at a timeline of the different business verticals that we have added support for. We began with e-commerce, like we mentioned, and then we added support for travel use cases, like hotels, flights, and destinations in 2016. We launched support for real estate listings in August, and today I'm really excited to talk about alpha support for autos and entertainment. By the way, if you want to get early access to the support, reach out to my PM, georgex@fb.com. Give you like a couple seconds if you're curious. Cool. So why do we have vertical specific solutions? Right? Why don't we just have dynamic ads that works for all verticals? Well, it's because we believe that we need to build tailored products in order to drive tailored results. We think that we can deliver better results for advertisers and a better experience for users by specializing a product for the unique traits of the different business segments. For example, they might have different needs in terms of what shows in a creative, different content in their catalog, maybe different signals, different data outside of the signals and so on, and maybe they want to drive different outcomes like leads instead of online sales. Of course, at the same time, we have to be cognizant of the costs of the fragmentation by building shared tools and frameworks. So some of the things I'll talk about later were inspired by the work with specific verticals and the needs of specific businesses, but we designed them in a way that can be used across many different use cases. So if you're creative, you can probably think of use cases that we didn't even think about when we built them. So build on the solution designed for you to get the best results. So if you're already building on top of DPA but don't run an online store, which is what DPA was built for, try the solution that was actually designed with the needs of your business vertical in mind. It's a better experience for everyone, like I mentioned. For developers and partners, the product and integration is designed with the business vertical in mind. For advertisers, they get better results and more relevant features. For users, you get a better experience that's more tailored towards the needs of that vertical. So here's an example of a travel business that saw great results when they switched from the hacked dynamic ads for product solution to the tailored dynamic ads for travel solution. They were able to achieve 20% lower cost per booking and 50% increase in scale by making that switch, because the solution that they're switching to is designed for the use case. As a senior VP of IHG said, these ads quickly proved to be even more successful than the traditional Facebook dynamic ads. So if you want your business vertical to be supported, and if it's not already, come talk to us afterwards. We're happy to help. So let's dive into the solution we built for auto offers by looking at the 5 dimensions that we outlined earlier. For the creative, we added support for additional features like the offer disclaimer, so clients are able to communicate key details to the audiences and meet legal requirements. Believe it or not, that's like a requirement for this vertical. For the catalog, we modified the product schema to support offer-related fields such as offer type, term length, and amount. For the Pixel and SDK, we've updated specifications to accept additional auto-specific signals about customers. We're also leveraging a lot of on-Facebook and off-Facebook auto-related data to enhance the campaigns. And lastly, we've also improved the optimization system to take advantage of all these auto-specific information to drive the best results, and also to support auto-specific optimization such as lead. So now you can use this data to drive lead. The bottom line is that this customized solution for autos enables the creation of ads at scale using the data, the specific signals, the data and optimization that's specific to autos to dramatically enhance their ROI by showing the right offer to the right people at the right time. So I'm just showing this here for illustrative purposes. For entertainment and media, the structure is very similar. It's very parallel to the thing that you saw before. The content within each of these dimensions might be different, but I just want to emphasize that this is the key point of the verticalization. So for example, we've enhanced each of these differently. In the case of creative, we added support for videos. For the catalog, we added support for a database of movies. For pixels and SDK, we added support for entertainment media specific signals, and we're also ingesting additional media-related data on and off Facebook. And lastly, we built many vertical specific optimization solutions for this vertical. So an example is view-through optimization, which we'll talk about later. So ultimately, again, this customized solution enables the creation of ads at scale that leverage the vertical specific signals, data, and optimization to show the right creative to the right people to drive the best results. Cool. So we talked about what are dynamic ads. Let's talk about what it's built for. Let's talk about what we can do with it. Let's start by looking at the timeline of the different optimization methods that we support. The initial launch supported click optimization, pretty simple. We quickly followed with support for conversion optimization, so you can optimize for purchases or conversions on your website. We then added support for different conversion windows. In this case, we added support for 7-day conversion windows. This is all 2016. And we also followed with support for mobile app install ads, so you can basically use the power of dynamic ads, the automation and personalization for your mobile app install ad campaigns. And today, I'm really excited to announce that we're supporting the view-through optimization, value optimization, and then very soon lead optimization as well on top of the optimizations that we supported in the past. So what does that mean? In the past, we asked you guys to optimize for conversions and then maybe choose a different attribution window instead of traffic. Now we're saying go one step further, optimize for sales, and choose the attribution function that's the most appropriate for your business. So whether that be 7-day post-click, 1-day post-view, or some combination thereof. So why should you optimize for value instead of conversions? Jason kind of alluded to it earlier. I'll go into a little more in detail later. But the most obvious is not all conversions are of equal value. And you want to optimize for the value, the total quality of conversions, not just the quantity. It's currently best for transactional businesses like commerce and travel, online commerce and travel, that get at least 100 conversions, optimized conversions over a 28-day period, and that send conversion values to Facebook. So these are the criteria for using this product. If you're eligible to use it, give it a try. It's really easy. It should drive better performance, better value. So like I said, it's really easy. All you need to do is send conversion value in your pixel and app. This conversion value must correspond to the conversion event, like a purchase in this, for example, and that's typically the basket value. Afterwards, you just need to update your optimization goal from offset conversions to value. Done. That's all you need to do, and it will optimize for value instead of conversions. So if you're eligible, give it a try. It should optimize for value instead of total number of conversions. Another update I'm really excited to talk about today is view-through optimization. This was actually inspired by the entertainment vertical, like I mentioned, but it's available for every other vertical as well. So the customer journey is messy and cross-device, and often begins with an ad view, not a click. Suppose a user sees a travel destination ad on her phone, and then she decides to research it on her laptop. She finally decides to add a hotel to her shopping cart on a tablet, and then she goes to her desktop to make the final purchase. If you're optimizing just for click-through conversions, you'll miss out on people like her because Facebook will not think they're valuable. Facebook will think there's zero value to these users. But with view-through optimization, you can actually optimize for what you truly value. And if you value these types of users, you don't want to miss out on them. So view-through optimization is even easier to enable than value optimization. All you need to do is add a attribution spec, which defines what you count as a conversion. So in this case, you're saying you count click-through conversions over a 7-day attribution window plus view-through conversions over a 1-day attribution window. You can configure it to be, let's say, 1-day click-through, 1-day view, whatever you want. Cool. So with all these options, you can optimize for what you want more of. So again, take a moment to think about where else you can use dynamic ads and how you can get more out of it. Now, let's take a different direction and talk about creatives. We'll talk about some creative options that let you customize your ads to make them more compelling and engaging. Overlays. I talked about this a little bit in the past when it was still in development. It's now available in Ads Manager and the Marketing API. Overlays enables you to draw attention to your ads by adding catalog information like prices and discounts automatically. If you're already hacking a catalog to display overlays, now you can stop managing tons of catalogs and images per product and let Facebook handle this for you. So enabling overlays is really easy. In Ads Manager, it's just a checkbox. And if you want to customize it, you can tap on the Edit Appearance link. It'll pop up a dialog where you can configure everything from the shape to the font to the color to the position of the overlay. So give it a try. Enabling it in the API is just as easy. You just include in your template data image overlay spec with the specifications that you want. So when you're creating an ad creative, give this a try, see if it works for you. Great. We also added support for a compelling format called collections, which lets you feature a collection of items that open in a full-screen mobile experience. Take a look at my example ad on the left. Don't mind the hero image, the Pokemon Go. That's just an example. You can use whatever image or video that you want to tell your story. And then beneath that image or video are products that Dynamic Ads have recommended, where if the user clicks on it, it opens up in a full-screen mobile experience that's really fast and smooth, where they can explore and browse the products that you're selling. So give it a try. It's a really slick experience. Again, enabling this is really easy. You just start with your current template data, and you make a couple changes to it. Voila, you choose a hero image or a video. That's pretty much the hard part here. And everything else is taken care of automatically. Cool. With that in mind, let's conclude with a deep dive into Dynamic Ads for broad audiences, which we launched this summer. I want to begin by debunking a common misconception. I've already mentioned this a little bit in the past, but I think it's worth emphasizing again. Dynamic Ads is not just for retargeting. I know we launched with that, but that's not what the whole ultimate vision of it is. It's not. In fact, it can be used to reach any audience that you choose. It could be used to drive app installs. It could be used to reach broad audiences to drive sales. If you're using Dynamic Ads for retargeting only, you're actually missing out on everything it can do for you. So think about all the other ways you can use Dynamic Ads that's not restricted to the retargeting audience. Enabling Dynamic Ads for broad audiences is really easy. You just remove the retargeting audience restriction. And in my example, I kept the purchase exclusion, which is a best practice. But you don't need that if you don't want to. That's all you need to change. Just remove the restriction, and you get Dynamic Ads for broad audiences. So why should you use Dynamic Ads for broad audiences? Dynamic Ads automatically figures out the most relevant creatives for you, for your customers, so you don't have to manage thousands of campaigns. Dynamic Ads will leverage Facebook strengths and machine learning and data to deliver the right creative at the right time, even if that user has never seen your business before or transacted with you. This is a key point. We use signals on and off Facebook in order to generate the best recommendations, even if that user doesn't already have a relationship with your business. Dynamic Ads also automatically figures out what targeting to use for you. Remember those questions we talked about earlier that you had to guess at? Like, how big should your lookalike be, and what percentage similarity should you use? Maybe like what seed audience you should use? That's a lot of questions to answer, not many answers. Have you ever had to manage complex campaign setups composed of tiered lookalike audiences? How to even choose the tiers, the bids, whatever? With Dynamic Ads, you don't actually have to do any of that anymore. It's all completely automated. You can drop the lookalike and let Dynamic Ads automatically figure out the right people to reach at the right time. No more guesswork. Cool. So what can Dynamic Ads do for you? It'll help you show the right creative to the right people at the right time, eliminating manual work and guesswork. And it's not just about retargeting. It's about using personalized creatives to automate and personalize your ad experience across many different ad campaigns. So take a moment to think about what else you can do with Dynamic Ads. And with that, I'm going to go into Q&A if anyone has questions. Any questions? There's a question about dynamic video and what we're planning to do there. I originally included it in the presentation, but we're working on it. There are a couple of things that we're working on. One is we're letting you upload a video per product. That's not as common because typically our customers have like millions of products and they're not going to generate millions of videos. Another option is we're generating videos automatically from the images that you are uploading. So we can create a personalized video for every user. So imagine if you use Facebook, you'll probably see those friend videos, right? The friendversary videos. We're using a similar infrastructure to generate personalized videos for people. That's currently in development. We just launched an alpha today with some partners. So if you're interested, you can follow up to see if you want to be in it.
I got a question. For value-based optimization, if you have, let's say, a festival with drastically different price levels, like a VIP versus regular, and in this case, my understanding is that optimization will try to, because it will try to look for the higher value, it will try to gear towards VIP, which are always going to be different audience. Or so how that automatic optimization works in case of the products are very different price levels and they kind of by definition have different audiences.
So you're saying like if we use value optimization, how would it handle that? Or
let's say if we have we create one big audience which includes both potential VIP and non-VIP customers. Yeah. We show them the ad, but in the end we want to sell both types of tickets. Right, so if we try to optimize for the value, will it gear toward the VIP and use primarily that as a potential target, or will it kind of try to?
So if you enable value optimization, it will choose the best products to show to generate the most value, in this case revenue, right? So whatever value you're passing back.
It will go against the VIP customers, like in like their higher value.
Sorry, I don't understand your question.
No, it's okay.
Why don't we follow up afterwards? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
How's it going? I believe all DPA use cases right now are driven by online signals. How's Facebook thinking about offline signals powering DPA?
So right now, that's true. We're only ingesting online signals to power the dynamic ads engine. Eventually, when the offline signals become a lot more plentiful, we will definitely integrate that into the system. Right now, it's not meaningful enough to make a difference yet, but eventually we'll definitely integrate that.
Hi. I see for one side, there's this dynamic ads, which you're showing us that has plenty of more potential than the usual retargeting. And in the other side, we have creative optimization, which is kind of doing a similar feature. What do you think would draw the line? When should I go for the dynamic ads approach or the creative optimization approach?
That's a great question. It's something that people have asked a lot. So the question is, when should you use DCO versus when should you use dynamic ads? So DCO is about finding the right permutation to promote your products. Right? It's a little different than dynamic ads, which is more like focused on finding the right products to show for people. So if you have a large catalog of a variety of things, it's much better to use dynamic ads because we can take advantage of all the different information we have about different products, as well as the offsite signals to generate the best recommendations. Whereas if you just have a bunch of like creative assets that you don't really care about and want to rotate among to find the best permutation, DCO is fine for that. In terms of the number of things that we'll support with dynamic ads, it'll support millions or maybe hundreds of millions of things per catalog. So, it'll take advantage of like the signals that you supply as well as the information in the catalog to choose among the hundreds of millions of things. In the case of DCO, because it doesn't have access to that information, it can only explore among something like 1,000 different permutations. So it also depends on the order of magnitude that you're thinking about.
I see. If I may ask one more, you're talking about also the audience part, that you will find the right people at the right time. Do you think there's still work for us to find out the best features of the audience too? So if I have this kind of product and I know that these kind of people, they're still that, or do you think that we should run it open and let you guys find out everything for us? Do you understand?
Yeah, so your question is like, if you have some information about whether certain types of users might be better to reach than others, like whether to constrain it or whether to leave it relaxed and let Facebook figure it out. Yeah, so it depends on your business. The answer is like a little more complicated. If you have a lot of conversions coming in, then Facebook can easily learn the right people to reach. So let's say you have like 100 conversions coming in per week or something. That's enough for Facebook to learn. Actually, you just need like something like 15 or so for Facebook to learn. If you don't have very high volume conversions, it's recommended that you kind of, jump start it with somewhere where you think it will start better. It's like training wheels for the model. And over time, you can relax the targeting after it learns more stuff. Thanks.